I think there is, to some extent, problems with the whole DSM-5 process, but the DSM-5 is just sort of another example of what is a more systemic problem. Now we have put out a statement. When I say we, I mean the Society for Humanistic Psychology, which is Division 32 of APA, and in alliance with several other organizations, put together a couple different committees to respond to the DSM-5 task force of the American Psychiatric Association. Back in October of 2011, we wrote and submitted an open letter to the DSM-5 as a part of an open letter committee, basically saying, outlining what we thought were some problems with the DSM-5, in good faith and in the hopes that the DSM-5 task force would take those concerns into consideration. We put it online, and we ended up getting over 50 different national and international organizations, many divisions of APA included, to sign in support of that document, and there was over 14,000 individual signatures, mostly mental health professionals. But then we got that rolling. A lot of people were saying, gee, why, whenever any kind of organization or an individual does an important piece of research and reports their findings, the normal thing to do is to submit that to independent review. And there were some concerns about, a for-profit organization, professional organization representing one profession, which is really a minority among mental health professionals, the American Psychiatric Association, making a document that influences all other mental health professionals, not just psychiatrists, but psychologists and social workers and counselors, and not just American mental health professionals, but it influences mental health professionals all over the world. So it's an extremely important document. So we thought, isn't it reasonable to say maybe this document should be submitted to a process that would involve an external review where they would get independent review out. And then that would help settle people's concerns that there might be certain conflicts of interest or profit motives or some kind of institutional motives that might bias the particular way that the diagnosis gets framed or which diagnoses get included or excluded. And we thought that would be a win-win because the critics, would be able to say, okay, well, it's been submitted to an independent review, and the American Psychiatric Association and the task force would have a win because they would have been able to show that, according to an external review, their document was, a good, reliable, valid, safe document. So we thought that was a pretty reasonable request. The answer we got back, which is available on the website for the DSM-5, the Open Letter Committee website, the president of the American Psychiatric Association at that time wrote back and said, well, no one else in the world is qualified to evaluate our document. And that's basically what he said, paraphrasing. So we were pretty kind of shocked by that statement. I thought it was a bit somewhat arrogant of a statement to make that no one else is possibly qualified. I guess we weren't surprised, but I was surprised that he made that bald-faced of a statement in reply and just sort of wrote off the whole request. So that was sort of the end of that. We got our answer, and it was very unambiguous, so we didn't feel we would be have much luck in pursuing that. And then the field trials came out, and the field trials were not fully completed, but what was completed really just measured the reliability and the clinical reliability of the diagnoses, and the findings were, really very unimpressive, I guess, is sort of an understatement. The reliabilities for a lot of the diagnostic categories were just pretty bad, according to typical standards. And there's been a lot of conversation around that, about how to make sense of that, what happened, and we don't know yet. That's going to be something I think that a lot of people are going to be talking about for a while. In some ways, the reliabilities are just worse, clearly worse than the DSM-4, for example. You know, the whole point of developing a descriptive diagnostic system was supposed to create a reliable, approach to diagnosis. It was supposed to create a better foundation for valid scientific research of these diagnoses so we could help people. And we seem to be moving backwards.